Welcome to the Reckoning podcast, where we stoke a campfire, gather around, and have real-life conversations with old friends, new friends, professionals, and just shoot the shit. Reckoning all things from hunting, outdoors, beauty, entrepreneurship, relationships, life, and more. It's all just a reckoning. I am so excited about today's episode. We are welcoming back a returning guest and friend of the show, Trev Trifaux. If you haven't listened to our first episode with him, I would definitely go back and check it out. I think it was out in May 2025, episode 89. We really got to know his story and his background, but after that episode, I was honestly dying to know how his fall had played out. And wow, did it deliver? This season, Trev spent 57 days hunting in Canada and filled 8 tags. We're talking a black bear with his bow at 17 yards. He got a cinnamon bear with his rifle. You'll never guess how far the shot was. A moose with his bow and his first whitetail, and he hunted elk as well. He did both archery and rifle. It was an unreal season. In this episode, we're catching up and diving into all of it. What worked, what changed from last year, how last season helped prepare him go longer and farther this year, the techniques he dialed in, and how learning long distance shooting later in life has played a role in his success. And we also talk about the real side of it, being gone that long, the mental game, and some pretty wild moments from the season. Quick heads up too, our connection was a little spotty in a few places. I'm pretty sure it was on my end. So you may hear us talking over each other accidentally. And it was driving me nuts post-production. I'm sorry, Trev. I tried to do what I could, but I promise the stories are worth it. So without further ado, welcome back to Reckoning, Trev. Like I said, I just wanted it to really give you like the space to tell your story of your hunts, because I know everyone's just dying to know everything on it.
Yeah. Well, it was different. I said I was gonna, fold all these tags this year and I did, but it was a chore,
Was
like
it?
it was tough. It was a lot of days and it started out like I drove up with a puppy actually, and I
Okay.
delivered the last puppy that I had. I dropped it off with John and Jen Rivet. And I met with
Okay.
them and we talked for a while and it was a lot of fun and they give me some cool stuff, a moose call and that they make
Oh,
and
cool.
so it started out good. And then I went up and
Mm-hmm.
got into where I'm going to be camping out for a while and stuff. And it was a new area for me too. So and I hadn't been out there scouting at all. So I was winging it pretty hard.
Can you remind us what tags you had?
I had a bull moose tag for archery only.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my
Okay.
2 black bear tags. I had 3 whitetail tags and 2 elk tags.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. It was yeah, it was funny. Like you start, a lot of guys will get out and scout and they'll kind of know the area they're gonna go and they have a rough idea of what's in the area and I didn't know what I was looking at when I got there. So I spent a few days really grinding it out and looking around and a lot of driving, a lot of hiking, and it was cool.
And is this area where you started, is this like, what tag is this for? All of them? Or are you starting off
It
with
is. No, so
archery tags? Oh,
yeah, archery tags, right? So, I mean, I had my archery moose tag and, but the way it was is kind of like whatever I'm gonna see first kind of thing, I'll start hunting. Except for elk. I made some promises that I would do some long range stuff with a rifle this year, and elk was one of
mm-hmm.
them. So while I'm hiking and scouting, it was I come into some elk. I came into a couple really nice bulls, and I couldn't shoot them because I already committed to
Oh,
waiting for rifle season.
uh-huh.
So I it
Yeah.
was it was
That's
frustrating,
always how it goes.
you know. Yeah, because in the early archery, it's different. You can call them in; they're revved up, they're ready to go. I had to let them carry on, so that was tough. And then while I'm hunting for moose, it's a bear. I seen a really nice black bear come out, and it was getting late in the day. This was already 7 days in. I haven't seen anything for 7 days other than the
Mm,
elk, and
grinder.
Yeah. So but I seen a really nice black bear, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna get in with him, and I got my bow, and I stalked that bear for I think 4 hours, and then I finally got into where he couldn't see me, and he was kind of up a bit of a hill, and I
Mhm.
I shot that bear, and it was I think he was at 17 yards when I shot him, and he
Damn.
he kind of rolled down the hill towards where I was, and it was really cool, like the way it went down. Except that area right now is they dumped a bunch of grizzly bears in there,
Okay.
and there's a lot of grizzly bear signs everywhere, and I'm by myself, and by this time it's like
Mhm.
maybe a half hour left of legal shooting light. So, and
Mhm.
I had a haul to get out of there, so it was a bit of a rush job at that point.
Wow.
Get it done and get it out.
I like when I hear someone, I know you told me that you would hunt bear with your bow, and I'm just like, that's a bad motherfucker to hunt a bear with a bow and put a stock on a bear. That is something I would love to do. When you're saying you're
Yeah,
taking 4 hours, were you really, because I know you've said before a lot of times, and so many archery hunters know this, like you finally get to where you're feeling good and then the wind switches and then you have to go all the way
yeah.
back around. What were you really working against when you're saying it took
It
4 hours to go after that bear?
it was the wind, but it was also it was him because he was traveling along the side of the riverbank. So as I'm
Okay.
going down my side and coming up on his side of the riverbank, he's also traveling, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
traveling with him. But I can't get across the river and then start heading up because I'll lose sight of him. So as he's moving around, I'm kind of walking beside him, and then all of a sudden he laid down and just started rooting around and stuff in one spot. So that's when I started to go up and in where he was. So it's a
Okay.
process. It's a lot of, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot.
When I think of putting a stock on a bear too, it seems like every time we've sat and watched bears, and when we can finally actually see them to be able to watch them, it seems like they're just constantly moving too. Is that something that you
Yeah, they
come
do.
across?
But then they'll stop, and whatever they find, they'll get in there for a bit and they'll lay down. They'll get up and they'll move maybe 5 or 10 yards, then they'll chill out again. So once he started to do that is when I make my move, and hopefully he's still there when I get up there.
Mhm. And is it
Yeah.
pretty thick country where you're hunting?
Yeah, in the riverbanks, it's thick, and it gets pretty steep in a lot of the areas too. So it's an old river, right? So it's
Yeah,
been really trashed over how many years.
that's really cool. And when
Yeah,
you're finally like those last few yards coming in on him, what's that like? What you said he's rooting around looking for stuff. Is that when you finally were able to close that distance in on him?
yeah. So what I notice with bears is when they are head down, their head is down,
Mhm.
and then I'll start moving into
Okay.
where I can get in, and then they'll stop and they'll put their head up and they'll look around and just don't move. I keep my head down, so like my everything, my face and everything is he just can't see anything but my hat, right?
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that helps if they can see your eyes, maybe because when you're getting pretty close. So I put my head down and I
Mhm.
wait, and then I just kind of look slowly. And then when he gets his head down again, I'll start moving again
Okay.
until I can get into range. Right?
And then you said you got him right before dark,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so
So
you were then
that so that plays a part too because I'm thinking about how far I am away from where I got to head back, and it's getting dark, and I know I'm in a bit of a shit spot too. And then I'm like, well, this is why I'm here. It's what it's taken me 7 days already, and I got a lot of work to do. So I'm like, fuck it. So he was a nice
yeah.
bear, really nice black bear, really black, dark muzzle on him. So I'm like, well, send it. So
Yeah. And it
that was
worked.
that. And
One
then, yeah,
arrow.
it worked. One arrow. Yeah, he didn't go. He spun around, and then that was the end of him. He kind of rolled down the hill towards where I was a bit, and then I got to work.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I've heard
So
that's
that was the
super
first
common
tag.
with bears with archery. That's awesome. First tag done.
Yeah. First tag done. Yeah. Yeah. And with archery, it's bears and archery. Like for me, I use mechanical broadheads, and they're
Okay.
they make a mess, right? Like I've never had a
Mm.
bear. take off or go very far with them. They open up the lungs and that's it. So I got a puppy under my
And
feet
people
moving
often
like him.
ask, oh, cute.
Yeah, she's
People
kicking the
often ask
camera.
me if we, she's cute. If we eat our bear, and we love bear, my kids love bear. Are you also eating your bear meat?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This year,
Okay.
my son likes bear a lot too. So usually I do ground
Yeah.
for him because then he can cook it well. And
Yeah.
I know it's cooked well for him. And then I'll do pepperoni. But this year I did my one full bear was pepperoni, and the other full bear I did in Italian sausage. And it's awesome. The Italian sausage,
Y-
I'll do that every year now.
Will you? Yum. That is something Cody
Yeah,
is
it's really
listening
good.
to, and he's like, yes, sign me up.
Yeah.
That's delicious. So that's your first tag. I would imagine it's a long haul out, long night, it sounds like on that tag.
It was a lot of work, and I where I was, I kind of got lost on the way back a bit.
Mm,
So I ended up being about, I don't know, 800 yards west of where I thought I was. So
okay.
it was a bit of a
Yep.
hike out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big difference. 800 yards,
Well,
especially at
it
night.
is actually. It is. Yeah. And it might not sound like it, but it actually is. And I'm trying to hurry because of the other bears that are in that area.
Mm,
Like in Canada, we can't carry a sidearm with us. And I'm not packing a
okay.
rifle with me either because it's too much. So I got my
Mhm.
bow, and I'm not bringing, I try and keep as lean as I can. So I don't even have bear spray or anything, right?
Yeah.
So
You and your knife and your
that's where it
bow.
gets, got a knife. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So get it out of there, right? You just want to get out and be
Yeah.
done.
And now you
So
have the added layer of grizzlies too, it sounds like.
yeah. Yeah. They dropped a bunch off. They dropped a bunch of big cats in that area too.
Oh,
So
wow.
that what they did is they took problem bears from some of the other areas and dumped them there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're already a problem bear.
Yeah, we hunt some places like that too, and knowing that you have the problem bears adds just a different element of caution, I think, being out there, knowing they're already a problem or they've been getting into people's garbage and like they're already got that taste for something.
They got that, and the time of year that you're there, they're
Mhm.
hunting hard too. So just adds to it. But I think your brain takes more of that and turns it into something bigger.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've told Cody cuz I for the longest time I was terrified of bears. Like
Yeah.
terrified. I mean, I go out and hunt, but like I always had the fear in my head. And I think hunting bears was one of the best things. I mean, obviously, as time went on, I spent more and more time in the woods. That helped. But then hunting bears, I think, gave me a new appreciation and understanding for a bear and like the fear and what needs to be there. Obviously, they're wild animals, but it does, I think, give you kind of a new outlook on the way in which they roam around the woods.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and here, like nothing hunts grizzly bears here. They're not
Okay.
afraid of humans. Nothing hunts them, so they're not really afraid of anything. They're there,
Hmm.
and that's a problem too.
Yeah. Yeah. If they don't have that fear yet.
Yeah.
You're no longer the big guy in the woods.
No, no, we're not. And there's a lot.
You That's crazy. See, and we don't have that in Utah, so I have like a whole respect for hunters. That's what my best friend lives in Montana and like you don't understand she didn't grow up hunting either. She's from California. And I'm like the fact that you got thrown into somewhere like Montana and you just, you've learned with the grizzly bears and the wolves and stuff, like I don't think you realize how what a strong strength that is versus some of these western hunters really don't have that.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't get to see it.
A game changer in piece of gear for both myself and my family has been utilizing digiscoping. If you're not familiar, real quick, digiscoping is when you use your phone to capture photos or videos through your spotting scope or binoculars. And if you're wanting the best and most simple system to digiscope with, All in is hands down it. If you're out in the field and want to capture the moment through your optics without fumbling around or missing the shot, All in has you covered. What I love most is how seamless and user friendly the system is. Like, seriously, so easy to use. My oldest son, Cooper, and Rivers has used it before, but Coop was using it to film my bear hunt. It's that easy. He was able to capture the shot, follow the bear, and that way we were able to go back, look at the shot placement, and then where the bear went. And then, of course, when Cody got to us, we were able to relive those memories with him all over again. And now I can look back at that footage and watch it forever. It's been especially awesome for hunting with kids. You can show them exactly what you're seeing and then relive it later with clear and steady footage. It's a whole new level of connection and storytelling in the outdoors. And they just dropped their brand new Nexus system, which gives you a quick connect, universal fit across multiple optic setups, and you can connect it to your gun. It's built to be even faster, lighter, and more adaptable, perfect for when every second counts in the field. So whether you're chasing big game, scouting with the kids, or just want to document your hunts with ease, All In is a no-brainer. Head to allin.co and use our code RECKONING for 10% off your order. That's Allin, OLLIN.co, and use our code RECKONING for 10% off. Your feet do more miles than your boss's Cybertruck. I mean, shit. You go off road, uphill, and in and out in the dark. Treat them like it. That's why I trust Sheep Feet. And now they've leveled up again with performance socks that actually hold up in the field. Breathable, supportive, and built to pair with custom orthotics. Sheep Feet are known for these. They are 100% customized to your feet. Every pair is different. Their process creates a precise mold of your foot, which means your orthotics aren't just supportive, they're made to work as hard as you do in the field. They are handcrafted in the USA. Every pair gets the care and attention your feet deserve. But Sheep Feet doesn't stop at orthotics. They've been expanding their gear game and now they've dropped brand new performance socks and I'm already obsessed. They're like buttery, airy, and smooth. You could like I can't explain it. Put them on your feet and let me know. These socks, like I said, are breathable, supportive, and built for the long days on your feet, whether you're hiking or running around day to day. I love that they're dialed in for hunters, but still just as functional for training or chasing kids around. They also make my favorite hoodie of all time, the Hideout hoodie. Guys, I'm telling you, if your girl's going to be hunting with you or hiking, get her this damn hoodie. You'll thank me and she'll thank me. The more comfortable she is, the longer she wants to stay out there. And you need one too, because Cody loves it just as much. You've seen me wearing this constantly. I have it in black and green. It's built from grid fleece, so it keeps you warm when you're glassing and breeze when you're on the move. The Sherpa lined hideout pocket is wind and waterproof, and in making it a built-in hand warmer. It's got zipper pockets, thumb holes, and a high neck zip. All the things that a girl could want. I wear it for hunting, at the gym, and honestly, when I just need to hide from life. And if you haven't checked them out yet, don't sleep on the Stealth Bombers. They're ultra lightweight, silent stocking shoe built for performance and precision. These are an archery hunter's dream. The people behind this company are incredible and they've thought of everything. Don't settle for anything less than custom. Head to sheepfeetoutdoors.com and use code RECKONING for 10% off. And yes, Sheepfeet are HSA and FSA eligible. Tell them we sent you and use code RECKONING for 10% off. Are you getting up early the next morning and grinding it out all over again? Is it starting over? Or are
Yeah.
you giving yourself a little bit of time to to
No,
recoup? Or is it like, nope, that's
no,
only
I
one
wasn't.
tag?
It's that, yeah, no, I didn't rest after that one. That was just back at it and kept going. And I'm also fighting archery season for moose. So that was a
Okay.
big thing. So it's not just that I'm hunting and I have all these tags. It was actually, you have X amount of time to for your moose tag. And then after that, wouldn't have got a
Okay.
moose. And that was the big one for me. I get a moose every year, and usually I got them by September 3rd, and I didn't even roll out
Okay.
till September 2nd this year. So it was late for me to come
Mm.
out too. Yeah.
And so now you're looking for moose.
Now I'm looking for moose and nothing. Didn't see anything, and it was a lot of signs of moose, but again, nothing. I saw a lot of cows, a lot of calves, but no bulls, just none. And
Mm.
so I'm trying these different areas and it's hot still, right? Like I was up there for all the seasons. And at the beginning, it
Mm,
was still hot. So, looking around the water and kind of where I thinking that they would be heading at that time of year, especially with the cows and that popping up. So I just kept checking a few locations and I ended up just narrowing it down to like three locations where I'm going to really put all my time in. And then I ended up seeing a bull. It wasn't a massive bull. It was a nice freezer bull, but I ended up making like the coolest and probably best shot I've ever made ever in my career. Like it was just, I wish I had it on video. I
yeah.
had a hard time with my GoPro this year. Like it was just, I'm not doing the GoPro again. What a piece of junk. But
Dude, fighting that in the midst of hunting is like, it's a lot.
it's a lot. So, but
You got to
the
focus
shot I
on like, am
made,
I going to record this or shoot something?
yeah, exactly. And the shot I made, I mean, I have a video kind of where it took place. I can send it to you after and show you. But he was across. I ranged him at 72 yards, and he was across
Okay.
this little body of water, and then some thick bush, and then there was a tree that come across. That was falling down across in front of us, in front of me, and then he was in the back in these trees, and I had an opening like the size of a basketball. So I ranged him at 72 yards and I set my sight at about 65 yards and I put it right at the top of his shoulder and lobbed my arrow over the tree that was in the middle of the water. And it just dove right over, arced right down and double lunged him in this little tiny area. And the sound it made, I knew instantly. I'm like, he's dead. Like I knew
Dead.
instantly. And I wish I had it on video, but I was pretty amazed with it. It was a nice shot. It was one of those like it felt slow motion, right? But
Just
that was a
watching it
lot of
fly over.
the way it arced over that tree was just yeah, I was pretty happy about it. I mean you shoot your bow all year for stuff like that, right? Trying
Totally.
different everything. So it came together so awesome that I was just yeah. He went 30 yards and that was it. Yeah, it was loved it. I love that. That was one of my favorite parts of it.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you tell that story, I can just like see the arrow just like slow motion flying in, getting
Yeah.
in perfect.
Yeah. It arced over and yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
And was that what time of the day did that happen?
That was about 7:30 in the evening. So it was still pretty sunny out at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sun up there goes
And
down around 9:30, 10 at
okay.
around September, mid-September, right?
Yeah. So that gave you a
Yeah.
little bit of time to
Yeah, it
work
was
on
still
him and
dark
get him out.
by the time I got done, but it was yeah.
Yeah. I can only imagine too, every time we get an elk, we walk up on him and we're like, damn, we forget how big these things are. I can only
Yeah.
imagine that's how you
Moose.
feel. You got a
Yeah.
moose
Yeah. Yeah. It's the walk up, yeah.
and
It's the
then doing it by
best.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had a hand a guy texted me in the area and so I said, "Well, I just shot a moose." And he's like, "Oh, where are you?" So I kind of explained where I
Oh,
was and
cool.
he came and he got there about halfway. Like I was halfway done
Yeah.
when he got there and yeah. So that was pretty cool too. I haven't had help for a long time with a moose. It was
Oh man.
it
I'll
was
bet
really nice. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a breath of fresh air too, especially when you're expecting it to do yourself and then you get that like, oh, I can help. That's
Yeah.
got to feel good.
Yeah. It felt great. It was awesome. Yeah.
How long after your bear did you get your moose?
It was about 5 days.
Okay. So you're going
So
another
everything
really long
seemed like a
stretch of
long
just
time.
grinding it out.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny because when I thought about it after, I did a total of 57 days hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 8 tags done, but I was also part of another three that I helped someone else fill their tags for a bear, whitetail buck, and another elk. And then I got to help out with another moose as well while I was there in those 57 days. So it
Mm-hmm.
was actually like every 5.5 days I was killing something. So it seemed
Wow.
longer, but when you play it out like that, it was
Yeah.
once you got going, it
Yeah,
was
you
about
had a
more.
lot happening.
Yeah,
Huh.
the
That's
first
crazy.
bear took the longest, and then after that, it was
It just started falling into place. Did the weather
kinda.
change a lot from when you first Okay.
It kind of
I was
changed.
wondering if that played a role.
Yeah, yeah. It started to. Obviously, I was there from basically summer until winter because I was there right through all of September, October, November into November.
Oh
So I
yeah,
got all the
57
seasons.
days. You're yeah.
Yeah. So I got a lot of I got all of it. I got to see the leaves change, fall. I got to see the sleet coming in, the wind, and then snow. So it changed everything.
Uh,
It was a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah.
but it was helped with the elk, I think,
Okay.
as it cooled down and it got colder. What happened is guys like, well, you had 57 days and you're hunting all these different things. And I'm like, yeah, but I was hunting from the second rifle season opened September 17th. I was hunting elk from that day on and didn't see shit. So I ended up getting my
Mm,
second bear and my deer in between all that. But I was hunting elk when I got those because they're tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times if you're not able to put in that time to, like you said, to be able to stick it out through all the different seasons, that's why sometimes you eat your tag.
Great. Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
the after your moose, are you keeping all your meat with you or are you making runs back into town to the butcher?
I'm running into the butcher. Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna say, after that long,
Yeah.
I would
So if
think
I
I didn't
can
know if
make
you
it
had
in
it hanging
there,
or something.
a few nights I had to hang a couple things. I had to hang my deer,
Mhm.
and yeah, I had to hang my deer, and then I had to hang my cow elk for a night before I could get it in.
Mhm.
But it's you can hang if you have a bit of a breeze and some shade, you can hang that in up to plus 18 degrees. You
Mhm.
know, so overnight, if you got a breeze and there's no bugs able to get on it, you're okay. It's the bugs that'll kill it first, but 18 degrees, people think, man, it's going to spoil so fast, but that little bit of breeze will keep it safe.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite I'm curious, your favorite recipe with your moose?
I don't really have a favorite recipe with moose. I like moose steaks, and what I do is I'll throw them in a Ziploc
Okay.
bag. I'll throw some
Mhm.
soy sauce in there with that Worcestershire,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'll just throw like garlic and pepper and maybe a little smoked paprika in there, and I'll leave that for a night or two, and then I'll just throw it on the barbecue or over the fire for 2 minutes. It's very rare is how I eat it. And
Yum.
yeah,
Okay. So you're like your moose like more pure,
I like it. Yeah. And then for burgers with
like
moose, it's just I do ground with 20% beef fat in it. And
mhm.
then even the burgers, like I like them pretty rare as well. So
Okay. Yum. Yeah,
yeah,
I love a good burger and a
yeah,
steak. I'll take it all.
yeah, yeah,
And then from there, it sounds like you said you also got another bear and a deer.
yeah. So I got my first cinnamon bear after that.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
that was cool because after the moose was done, I was able to hang up my bow and bring out my rifle. And that's also pretty new to me. I mean, I've used a rifle a lot growing up, but for doing the big
Mhm.
game stuff, this was my first year really getting into it, and I was excited for it.
Mm.
And I it the cinnamon bear, I was in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna shoot a bear at 400 yards, and I'm gonna do all these things, and I ended up coming around this big bush pile, and as soon as I came around it, he was standing right there at 80 yards. So I ended up shooting him with my long range rifle at 80 yards, and you can't pick that one. And it was a
No.
cinnamon bear, and I'm like, I always said if I find a nice cinnamon bear that's not real big, then that'll be a full live mount that I'm gonna do. And I did.
Uh-huh.
That's where he is right now. He's getting done full live mount. So I was really happy about that bear.
Cool. What's your mount gonna look like? Do you have it
It's
all
something I'm
picked
gonna hang
out?
up on the wall. So we're still kind of picking and choosing.
Okay.
I'm looking at different pictures and that, but it'll be something
Mhm.
clean, standing on a rock. maybe a bit of green
Yeah,
in there somewhere, and just standing, nothing, no
totally. Yeah,
mouth
you got to have
open,
a little
nothing.
habitat.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So, and I want it to be able to hang up in the air so it's not taking up space.
Right.
Bears are tricky;
Yeah.
they take up a lot of room.
Yeah, they can. I know. We've always said that and we're like, I don't know, but
Well,
we
I
have
got
Cody
rugs and
has
I'd
this
have no more
bison
room.
on a pedestal mount. Oh yeah. You run out of room for all the rugs on the walls.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got a bison on a pedestal.
Yeah, we have a bison on a pedestal mount. And when he wanted to do it, he always wanted to, right? Kind of like the same thing like with one day we would like a bear full body. And when he got this one bison, we were like, I'm like, okay, like this one definitely has to be done, And he's had this tree that he's always like a kind of tree that he wants and all the stuff that he's had saved for years. And our taxidermist was amazing. But then when we got it back, I'm like, where are we gonna put this? Like, it's huge, It's
Is it
taller.
the
It's
full
like as tall as
body?
Cody, and Cody's 6'2". No. So thank God, or we definitely would not fit it in our house. That's for freaking
Oh,
sure.
okay.
It's a shoulder mount, like it goes back past the shoulder a little bit, but
Yeah,
I'll have to take a picture and send to you. It's really, really sweet looking, but we brought it in and I've literally never seen my husband so happy in his life. So he named him Cedric. If Cedric makes him happy, then Cedric can stay. It looks pretty badass, but it's literally the first thing you walk into my house. It takes up like most of my entryway.
yeah. Cool. That's
It's
cool.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I didn't think we'd fit him in here and he's part of the family. So yeah.
That's
Cedric
one of
belongs
those things
below.
though. Like I don't know, to get a bison around here is pretty rare to not getting one at all. So I think it would be one worth doing too.
Yeah, yeah. It's usually that way around here. So it was like, yeah, let's do it. Especially the size of this one and the story and yeah. Now that we have him, I love him, but I was
Yeah,
really wondering where the hell we were going to put him. It works.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait to see your bear when you get it back. You'll have to make sure you share with everyone so we can see that cuz the cinnamon bear is so beautiful. And to
yeah,
come up
yeah.
on it like that, especially with a gun, man.
Well, I'd say I got a 300 PRC that there's a lot of people who came in and built this for me this year. Like MDT
Mhm.
supplied the chassis and IBI Barrels supplied the some stuff, and then I got Neil with Ibex. He built everything and machined everything and just he made it awesome, painted it, did some laser etching with my logo into it. So I was really excited
Oh,
for
cool.
it, and yeah,
Mhm.
it was cool. So
Yeah. It's like we were saying with the elk, like you were seeing elk when you were archery hunting,
yeah,
and like you would want this bear situation to happen with a bow, but you would never just, you know what I mean? Like the odds of that, it's just
yeah.
always the opposite. So,
Well, and I was seeing elk in archery season, and then I never saw anything until October 3rd.
wow.
So it was almost 2 months that I never saw any elk.
Which is crazy because it sounds like you were obviously putting on a lot of like
Yeah.
distance and time
Oh,
and a vast
yeah.
location.
I learned a lot though. I learned that hunting elk in early archery season, you can rev them up, you can get them pissed off, you can call them in, they can, it's a lot of fun and it's exciting. But after that, when they've got pressure on them from other hunters, and then they've kind of moved deeper in because of that, it's a lot of work after that.
Mhm.
Like they go nocturnal, they go quiet, with all the pressure on them. And I gotta hand it to the rifle guys during rifle season. I'm like, it's a rifle. I'll just see one and shoot it. And it's like, nope, that
Yeah.
ain't the case at all. So,
Oh, good. Did you hear that, Cody? Because he likes to make fun of my bow hunting. He's like,
oh, is
if you
that
just
right?
had a gun. Yeah. He
Yeah.
always likes,
Well,
they like to remind me, if you had a, because it's true. A lot of the times you see them way that like over there, like 300 yards, like if we just had a gun.
yeah,
I'm like, no. But
I
again,
must
that's not
sneak
always
up
how
on
it
it.
happens. Yeah. I
No.
want to get close.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, end of August is perfect for your
Hmm.
bow. But when you're into, mid October, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I did learn a lot, and I narrowed it down to a couple locations again, and I realized that they are, if you see them today, if they're not there tomorrow, you're going to see them there again in 3 to 4 days.
That was what
You
their
know,
little
they're,
rotation is.
yeah. I noticed that with all the elk that I shot this year and was part of, that's exactly what they did. So the hard part was, waiting
Hmm.
for them to come back kind of in a certain area, especially for me, because like with bow hunting, you're always on the move. You'll glass a bit and then you're on
Mm-hmm.
the move, but waiting, I'm just like, God, it was tricky, but it worked.
Patience, man.
Patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Good.
worked
So
out.
so what was it that you got after that bear? Was it the elk then?
No, after the bear, I shot my first
After your
whitetail buck because I don't hunt deer. And I'm like, well, I'm going to hunt some deer this year. And I was in a spot where I was
okay.
actually waiting for elk. So I was hoping to see some elk, and I got a video of a coyote walking up to kind of where I was hunkered down, and then I kind of my camera went across the barrel of my gun and over to the coyote, and then I see this massive whitetail standing in behind everything. And he was only at about 147 yards. And I'm like, well,
Wow.
I'm gonna poke this guy, I guess, because he was pretty nice, really nice 5x5. Nothing, not a massive, huge buck. Really nice though, and just symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, let's do it. So, and he did. He just dropped instantly. Like I shot him with the 300, and yeah, I was a frontal shot, and it just easeled him straight into the ground right away. So that was nice. And
That
I was
is
excited about
always
that too.
reassuring.
Like, yeah, because I don't hunt deer. Like I always would just fill the freezer.
Like never hunt mule deer, any of that. It's
Mule
always
deer,
been
I'm
elk or
waiting. It's
moose, bear.
Yeah, it's always been elk, moose, and bear, but mule deer is a draw. I'm like 5 years into this one. I think it's 9 to get a draw for mule deer here where I'm going,
Oh, okay.
and they're just monsters too. So I'll
Interesting.
do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I'm gonna hunt whitetail now. It's awesome. I love it.
I had a lot of fun doing it.
I had a lot of fun, and the meat is really good. Like I mean, you can
That's what I
compare it
was gonna
to elk.
ask.
Yeah, really good.
We I haven't had whitetail in a long time, and Rivers, my son, got him a whitetail this last year or this year, I guess. We're still in this year. And we had mule deer too, and we had elk. And Cody and Cooper, they had never tried whitetail. And I think over mule deer, I like whitetail better
Oh yeah,
as far as meat
yeah.
goes. Like there is a substantial difference in the taste.
There is, and you could tell by the smell even.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had a lot of mule deer, and I'm not a fan of it at all. And I find it kind of tastes how it smells, you know. Or the whitetail,
Yeah.
I had a whitetail hanging next to an elk, and just the smell that comes off the meat was less than the elk. Really
No,
good.
it really is. It's very subtle. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
really impressed with the whitetail. I'm like, and we've got a little bit that's been everyone's request now is whitetail, right? But we don't get to hunt it all the time. So I'm
Oh yeah.
like, let's like cut back a little bit on it. Now it's a little bit of a delicacy at this point. We've only got so many packages left.
It's fancy now. Save it for the fancy stuff.
Yeah, now it's the fancy food. Save it for a
Yeah.
fancy night, family night.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
so was that one, were you way far in on your whitetail? Or was how was that pack
Uh,
out and
that was no, that was I was able to actually drive up to that.
oh nice.
So this year was a little different. Like I hunted both like the rivers and stuff where you had to hike in, and then I had permission on some of the access from farmers to crown land. So I was able to
Mhm.
access a lot more that way. So that whitetail was shot in a what was in that field was peas.
Oh,
So that was shot in a
very
pea
cool.
field right on the fence line that backs onto crown land. So it
Okay.
was cool, yeah. And it was a big deer. It was
That is
235-pound deer.
that's
So
awesome.
for me,
It
that's a
looks
big deer.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
big
a big
body.
body.
Yeah, really big body. Yeah.
That's cool too because it sounds like you gotta do like your hunting scenarios, not only are you getting to hunt different like animals, but like your locations. You're going from thick hiking far and then also into the fields.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got to do all of it.
Yeah. It
So
makes
it
you
was a lot of
appreciate
fun.
like all aspects of hunting.
It does, and it was nice. Like I wasn't crippled when I was done either. You know, last year was a fucking. I aged last year hard, but this year it was great. I mean, I could pull my truck up, and it was awesome. I threw my cooler off. I got this rack on the back of my truck to hold my big
Mhm.
cooler, and I ended up throwing it in the box because I couldn't lift the deer up onto the box. So I threw it up onto the rack and strapped him down.
Cool.
Drove away. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
When we
haven't done
did
that
something like
ever.
that with Rivers deer, I know us either. We did that with Rivers deer and he was kind of like he had his backpack ready. Like, we're just going to put it in the truck? Like, yeah, man. This
Yeah,
is different, but it's the way they hunt here, you know? Like, and that's what
yeah,
you got to do. So, might as well.
yeah. Take it while you can.
For sure, for sure. Because we've had plenty of the other, and there'll be more of the gnarly. Why
Yeah,
the hell do I do this moments?
yeah, yeah. Some of it, talking yourself into it and talking yourself out of it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
then you
liked
get
it.
done
It
and you're
was,
like, sweet.
yeah, oh yeah, it was fun.
You said that last year really felt like it aged you
Yeah.
versus this year. Do you think what factors into the difference from this year to last year? Is it the way, like the place you were hunting, or were there things that you did to prep for this year?
I mean, this year I prepped a lot more for sure because I thought it was going to
Mm-hmm.
be a lot harder too. I mean, it was hard, but last year I got a really big bull moose last year in a horrible spot, and it was that pack out that ruined me for like 2 days after that,
Mm,
and then I was still just tired. It was a lot to get that one out, and it was really hot. So I think it kicked me a little harder. This year it was still hard, but it was being able to do more driving around and checking stuff and not just being down in the valleys and rivers and stuff was a lot different. And I'm not like young either. I mean, well, I'm not old, but I'm going to be 47 right away, right? So I'm like, but when I first got up there too, I don't know, my knee was destroyed. I don't know what I did to it, but I couldn't lean down. I couldn't bend my knee or anything for almost 2 weeks. So
man.
it was a shit show.
Yeah, that's not what you want when you're on the mountain. Was that kind of a deciding factor into switching to this new location this year? Was like just wanting to try new terrain and like the options that were there to be able to drive and scout?
Yeah, I wanted to change it up. Like I just wanted to
Mm,
experience it that way. And, you know, I don't know. It was because I added the deer to it, like whitetail deer to it. When I've
mm,
hunted all the riverbanks and stuff where I go, I've never seen whitetail ever there. I've not seen one whitetail in there. So I had to go where they
mm.
were anyways.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of it. And where there's whitetail, there's elk. So I noticed
Mhm.
that too. There's
Oh,
they're
that's
just
cool.
same. Yeah, there's whitetail, there's elk in that area.
How interesting.
Yeah,
That's so interesting for me to think because we don't have whitetail in Utah. So that would be really neat to see the whitetail with the
yeah.
elk would be
And they're a
pretty
lot
cool to
like the
see.
elk. They see you and they're gone. Like they don't stick around. Mule deer here, they'll
Mm.
stand there. You can walk up and slap one, you know, where the
They're just
whitetails
so
they're
unbothered
just yeah, yeah. And it's funny because you'll see mule deer on this side of the road and whitetail on this side, and you'll never see them switch.
together, switch
Yeah, they
sides.
not even
Interesting.
together. It's the
Yeah.
whitetail. Where I've seen the whitetail in fields, I've never seen a mule deer in that same field, even though they're across the
Hmm.
road. Yeah, it's funny. I don't
But
know.
then there where the elk are. How interesting. Cody
Yeah,
said that when we were watching whitetail this year. That's what he's told people when he's come back. He's like, I'm surprised a whitetail doesn't die of anxiety. He's like, they are so just like wired to just be like cautious all the time.
yeah, they're skittish, and
Yeah.
that's what gets hit by cars up there too, mostly because they just dart
Mm,
across the road like they come running out in front of you like elk.
that's interesting. I always love hearing the different places and how their animals are and what they have. It's so cool. You get so used to your area and what you're hunting. it's so neat to learn from other people.
Yeah, I was blown away. I learned a lot. I also got humbled pretty good too.
Served a
You
little
know,
humble pie.
yeah, I did. It was you think you know some stuff, and it's like, no, you don't know.
Yeah.
Wrong.
In what way?
You know.
Like what really humbled you?
So I ended up shooting a doe as well, and I seen a nice whitetail doe that came out, and I shot that doe at 400 like 17 yards or something like that. This is with a different rifle. They also built me a 22 Creedmoor for deer, so I was pretty pumped to use that too. And so I shoot this doe came out by herself, and I watched everything unfold. I shot the deer. It You could just see the whole thing ripple, and she dropped right where she was standing. And then I get up there, and I'm like, oh, they're quite small. Like a white-tailed doe in front of you is quite small. And I took a few pictures, and
Mhm.
then as soon as I rolled her onto her back, it was a button buck. I'm like, no shit. This was right. So it's still an antlerless deer. But there was two, like, you could just feel them, but you couldn't tell at all until you roll them over, and it's a male. And then I find out after, the guys that hunt up there, they're like, if you see a white-tailed doe by itself during, like, the as it's beginning to be rut, chances are it's a button buck.
Mhm.
So that's lesson one. So now I
You're like,
know
"Well,
if I
good to
see
know,
a
guys."
yeah. So now I know, yeah. So it's okay. So when I saw my next doe, I'm like, well, I'm gonna make sure there's more out. And then, yeah, it was my second doe I shot was double the size of the button buck. And I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here,
Wow.
right? So it was a learning thing for me because I just had no interest in deer, and now I'm like really interested in whitetail.
That's
So it
cool.
it was fun.
That's good to
Yeah.
know. Now we all know.
It was good to know. So if they're coming into rut or they're in the rut and you see a white-tailed doe on its own, chances are it's not. It's a
Hmm.
yeah.
Huh. That is cool. I have always loved, like, for the longest time, the elk hunt and being able to there's just the thrill of, like, being able to call one in or get them, talking back and forth. That is just something really cool and unique about an elk. But the more and more I hunt deer, whether it's whitetail or mule deer, they can be so challenging and also so neat and so unique that I've really found a love for deer hunting this last, like, year, I would say. Sounds like you're
Yeah.
kind of finding that too.
Yeah. I still have no desire to hunt out of a tree stand.
Yeah.
I'm not, that's not for
I
me. I'd probably bring a
I'm
rope.
not for real. Oh,
Yeah.
Cody and I did a tree stand for my bear hunt.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, if you want to test your relationship with someone, sit in a fucking tree stand with them for hours on end listening to each other breathe is like, and we're not used to that, right? We're used to, it sounds like kind of like how you are, like walking and glassing and like always moving, and just having to sit somewhere and be patient is not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
We were like,
Yeah.
we got to switch something up. This is not like day one. We were both like, I don't know how long this is going to last.
It's like putting IKEA furniture together with
Oh
each
my
other.
gosh. Yes. My gosh. Yes. And every little
But
move, you're like,
so that was over bait then, right?
yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, it was over bait. So it was a
Oh,
baited
okay.
hunt. So yeah, yeah. So it was cool to be able to watch and like learn how like a bear comes in and all that, because I was new to bear hunting. Because I really wanted to get one with my bow. And so that was
Yeah.
the plan where we were. That was the most ideal way to do it. It didn't end up working out, and I ended up switching 10 days into the hunt because it was getting real expensive to keep feeding all these bears, because I had two bait sites. And so we ended up switching it, and I went across the canyon and ended up getting it with a gun,
Mhm.
which was cool. I mean, first bear, but I've
Yeah.
always said I've had a tag this last year that I could do. I'm like, if I see one, I want to try putting a stock on a bear with my bow. And I never got that
Yeah.
opportunity, but yeah, tree stand with your spouse. I appreciate him doing it with me, but we were feeling
That's
both the same way. Like, all right,
that should be a first date type thing. Then you know if you're gonna have a second one or
it
not.
like really should. You're right. You're right. It really should. Trying to go in together and yeah. yeah, it was interesting. But so I don't blame you on the tree stand thing because it is not my favorite thing. And hats off to people that have the patience to sit and do that, but I don't enjoy it.
No, no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But spot and stalking bears is really, you're taking the long way no matter what. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it was. I made a video. I think it was last year. I kind of explained there was a bear that was only about 200 or 300 yards ahead of me, but I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
just the way the field opened up. I couldn't just walk up to him with my bow and get into range. He's going to see me first, and the way the wind was blowing.
Yeah.
So to go 200 300 yards, I ended up going all the way around the bush line and coming back to hit him head on with the wind in my face, hoping he's still there. And he was actually kind of heading towards where I was going. But that's like 5 hours, you know,
Yeah.
and it's worth
Yeah.
it
That is
if
a
you're
long
going to do
time.
it. Yeah. But,
Right.
you have to. If they don't see very well, but if they do see a bit of your shadow, they scram, you know, and if they
Mm-hmm.
wind you, that's it. They're gone.
Yeah. I did learn through that hunt and being there, like how cautious bears are. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
prior to hunting
And
them, you know?
well, I remember years ago, I was trying to sneak up on them taking the short way. And yeah, I seen a lot of
Mm-hmm.
bears and I put the stock on a lot of bears, but I didn't get anything. So I was like, nope, done. I'm gonna just take the long way. And if it comes together, and I've had success with that every year, 2 bears every year. So, you do it.
You're
Just
the
do it
guy
that
I'm
way.
going to be asking all my questions when my when my
I
tag
get a
comes
lot
up
of
so I can
questions.
finally
Yeah.
get one with a bow.
I got so many messages this year, guys asking me what to help them out somehow, right? Because they've been trying it, and it's
Yeah.
be patient, get some stealth bombers and wear them. They help.
Hell yeah.
I used
They
mine.
do. They're crazy.
Yeah, yep. I used them and
And they
they
made a
work
big
great.
difference.
Yep.
So that's cool. Stealth bomber's success story. That's what we like to hear.
That's yeah, yeah.
You know how it goes. Your adventure is only as strong as your recovery and then your energy to start it. That's why I've been loving Mountain Ops' naturally sweetened line. If you haven't heard yet, I know so many people, including myself, have wanted there to be a naturally sweetened line when it comes to the favorites, Hydrate and Ignite. They are naturally sweetened with Reb M and monk fruit. They're just as effective with hydration and energy to fuel the day. Whether I'm working out, working, hunting, chasing the kids, or just trying to stay on top of everything, I always have a packet in my bag of either the Hydrate or Ignite and or both. Sometimes they stack really well, meaning you can mix them. Even my kids ask for the Hydrate sticks when we're on the go, especially when we've been out hunting or camping and obviously after their sports sessions. And let's talk about their new product drop. I have been waiting months for this. I may or may not have gotten some inside scoop, and I'm excited. It's their clear protein. This is their new Magnum Clear Whey. It is so refreshing. So, what you do is you mix it with water, and it makes more of a protein water, if you will. It's light, fruity, not chalky or milky at all, and it's low lactose. Perfect for after a hot hunt or hard gym session. I'm kind of excited to try making like a protein jello with this. I think could be really fun for meal prep or just making like a refreshing smoothie or refreshing drink at the end of the day. What does it look like? It honestly looks like after you mix up Ignite or Hydrate. So it's a scoop of this clear whey protein with water. And like I said, you mix it, you froth it, wait a couple minutes because it does get a good froth. And then I mix it one more time and it looks similar to like a Hydrate or an Ignite. You get 23 grams of protein that doesn't feel like a shake. Seriously, it's a game changer for these hot months and just a new way to shake up your protein shakes. We also keep on hand always our immune gummies, slumber, and performance bars on rotation for the whole family. We love their hoodies and gear just as much as their supplements too. Mountain Ops is built for real people who live hard, love the outdoors, and want to feel their best while doing it. Head to mountainops.com and use our code BRIT for 20% off your order. Plus, every purchase helps donate a meal to a child in need. That's mountainops.com and use our code BRIT, BRITT, to stock up and give back. So now you've got your button buck, your doe. What else is left? It sounds like your elk, right?
Elk is what was left, and I mean, in between that, I helped out with another bear, which was a lot of fun. And then yeah, October
What
30th, I shot my bull elk, and that was a stretch. I hiked down into where I seen them a few days before along this tree line, and I went down at like 5 in the morning, and I sat there for I think 3 hours when the sun started coming up. And as soon as it started to come up, they were
mm,
there. So they were already there when I hiked in. They couldn't see me and I couldn't see them. So, and I got a nice tripod from Team East. He sent me one to for blasting and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put my rifle on this and try it out. So where I went down into is a nice brush pile, and I'm sitting there, and then there's about herd of 15, I guess. And the way the
mhm,
sun was coming up in my face, I couldn't see the bulls. I couldn't see if there was a bull or not because it was blinding. And then I watched them kind of walk off to the south. And as soon as they got in behind these trees, I could see a bull over there, and I ranged him. And that was over a 600-yard shot. And I shot that bull, and I thought I missed him, and I just waited for a minute because all his cows took off running, and he just stood there in one spot. And I'm debating, I'm like, am I going to shoot him again, or am I waiting? And it's kind of odd that he stayed there, and they all took off, and then he just tipped over. He didn't even
mhm.
take one step. So I was like, oh, this is. And the grind that I put in to get the elk, when I got up there, I was just like, it was what a good feeling. There's snow on the ground, you know, and it's the first time
Yeah.
I've hunted that time of year too. So I was able to start a fire. I had a fire going. I was, field dressing this elk, and I was so happy. Like it felt really good. No rush,
Yeah.
no bugs, not beating the heat, nothing. Like it was
Mhm.
just all of that was amazing. And I had all day because it was morning when I shot him. Yeah, it was cool.
It all came together, especially with that long of a stretch trying to get an elk, and then you finally got it in a new
Yeah,
season with a new weapon.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it
It
is
was,
really cool to be able to have time.
yeah. That was probably. I still felt rushed though, right? Like I'm skinning it out, and
Mm,
I felt rushed, and then I'm like, you can slow down, man. There's nothing, there's no rush, So I was able to enjoy it, you know. Yeah.
good. What do you have on your gun for scope?
This year I was running the Telson arc.
Okay.
So yeah,
And that was your longest distance shot?
that's the longest distance shot. Yeah. Yeah.
That has to
It
be
was.
satisfying after a long time of prepping to come up to that moment of an elk, of getting the gun, setting it up.
Yeah, it was. Well, when Neil built that gun for me, he went through first quite a few boxes of rounds, and then I shot 5 boxes as well. And it was a lot of shooting and a lot of learning too for me. So
Mhm.
when I did make that shot, I was just like, it was it's pretty cool.
It all
It's a
paid
lot
off.
different, but I don't know. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've reached the point where you know, it's a lot of it still takes a lot like to shoot that far. I mean, if you move a little bit,
Mhm.
you're out a lot, you know. So
Yeah.
it was still a hard shot, and I think I got lucky at the same time with that shot, but because I was my breathing changed a lot as well. So it was like, and I could feel my heart pounding because I was hunting elk for a month already, So it was when I finally got him, it was like shooting my first elk. I was all excited.
Finally.
Everything's, yeah, heart's pounding, right? And you're trying to. It was cool. I still laugh about it. I'm doing that
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Did you find that you were, because you say that and it's interesting. Do you think, I guess it's kind of new, but also do you feel like you can find your composure a lot quicker bow hunting
A
than you
hundred
did with
percent. Yeah.
rifle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get that for some reason, when I'm bow hunting, I don't get any of that. Like, I don't
Yeah,
get nothing.
me
I'm
either. And that's
super
what made me think of
relaxed.
that now that you say that.
Yeah. When I'm bow hunting, I don't feel any pressure in my shot at all. Like, I feel good. I'm confident with
Hmm.
it, and I don't get that heart pounding thing going, which is kind of weird actually. You think it would be
Yeah,
the opposite, but no. That's my comfort zone, I think.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting. I haven't really thought of that before, but like I am much more confident with my bow and like all that too, but it's interesting to hear that from you too. I like the honesty in that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think helped, cuz it sounds like your shooting with a rifle went really well. You were successful with it, but you said it's new to you. What things do you think were helpful in being successful with a gun as someone that is getting like kind of reintroduced to it, and especially like I guess in long range?
I had a lot of help with it, right? It wasn't like I
Mhm.
bought a rifle and I bought a scope and I put it on and I did all these things. Like the guy that built that put a lot of time into everything. And, so I spent I think
Mm.
8 hours with him at the range when I picked it up. And we made sure everything was dialed in. And then Telson had a turret made for me, so it's just the RDS system, range dial shoot. So when the gun builder did all the homework and ballistics and everything, then we sent that to Telson, and then they put a turret on the laser, had it all built for me. So when I range something at 400, I just go to 400. You know,
Yeah,
a lot like my bow.
definitely.
You know,
A turret makes a big
yeah,
difference.
yeah. You're not doing the math on it. So I think if,
Right.
the old school days, if I'm trying to do math on 600 yards, I'm nowhere near that right now. You know,
Yeah. No, a
it's,
turret
I
makes a
mean,
big difference, and I think it helps the confidence.
yes, 100% help the confidence.
And it sounds like you had someone like build out your gun too and get to like show you everything and help you really dial it in.
Yeah. Yeah. MBT sent me some stuff, and the chassis that they sent me is, that one was the XRS, and it's not designed for, it's a short action chassis. So what he did is he ended up machining everything down to make it into a long action. So
Mm.
that was the 300 PRC that he did. He put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, I think that's helpful. I know Cody's taken his gun to like really get it honed in for his long range, and just the difference it's made having somebody knowledgeable working on it, taking rounds through it, and then kind of teaching you your gun and what
Yeah.
it's made specifically for you makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because I grew up shooting with just coyotes and stuff. I never used a rifle for anything other than that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at 22 250, it was, if we dialed it into, 200 yards, it was just aim high at 500. There was
Yeah,
no
exactly. That's what I
math
was going to
involved
say.
whatsoever, right?
Right.
So
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah. That's how we were too. And then when Cody started getting into this and stuff, it's like just like 2 clicks and this. I'm like, sweet. That's going from my bow on my bear hunt, like I said, to then switching to the gun like I did, shooting it. Like the confidence level was much higher than it would have been if it was without, the turret and everything on there for sure.
yeah,
It just feels good being confident in your weapon.
yeah.
What gear did you run this year that you feel like made a really big difference in your hunting? Was there anything that you were like, damn, I'm glad I have this?
Yeah, Stree actually sent me everything. So I've got every season of clothing they sent me, like right into the
Mm.
downfilled bibs and downfilled jacket and everything for the really cold stuff. And that that was huge. That let me spend a lot more time, in the waiting stage and you know, going down in the dark and waiting and it's snowing and it's cold in the mornings. And that when you go through, when you're outside for all that, you're not, one day it's plus 18 and then the next day it's minus 5 and you're like, I'm used to minus 25, 30 here, but when you have that drop all of a sudden, you're freezing your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, Jesus, it's cold tomorrow, So, and I mean, that helped a lot because, I'm not used to also hunting throughout those seasons like that. Like I hunt in different
Mm-hmm.
seasons, but it's only a day or two here and there. I'm not outside. I'm not in my tent in all these different conditions and stuff. And it was clothing made played a huge part in my success. I was able to hang around a bit longer, and right when you feel like packing it in because you're cold, I was able to wait that extra time, and it that paid off too.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like
It
it.
was,
That's a great
yeah,
suggestion.
yeah. It was
Is there something you learned from last year that you were like, you came out of it last year and you're like, I'm doing this different that you planned going into this year that helped?
that helped? No, because
Yeah.
I've always kind of done things similar, right? Like
Yeah.
I've always hunted the same, but I did learn a lot about looking out for my brand first this year.
Hmm.
You know,
In what way?
last year,
What does that mean?
well, it was, last year, you're okay. So what I saw this year is I saw a video of a guy that shot a deer, and he's like, I just shot this buck, and then he just drops the head and he goes right into, oh, this is the rangefinder that I used, and he went into all that, even though he just shot this
Oh.
deer. And I'm like, that sounds like
Hmm.
kind of what I was like last year. I'm taking
Oh, okay.
pictures of my elk with whatever I used and stuff. And I'm like, no, that can all come later on when people talk about it and you're talking about the success you had and the gear you used. But this year I learned
Hmm.
I'm not doing that. You know,
Yeah,
it took away from the animal, I think. So seeing it that way, I changed things.
that's smart. It's like taking inventory. And I can relate to that just in the industry that we're in and businesses and our brands. It's hard, like finding that balance is tricky, but it's also going back to like why we're there and why it started. And a lot of times, if you're so worried about the brand stuff, it can take away from the hunt, the experience, and like your focus on why you're there.
Yeah, I actually sent a few emails and terminated contracts this year too. I'm like, nope, I don't want to be. I I just had to do it. I had to terminate some contracts and get away from some of that stuff that was taking away from everything else, and you know,
Hmm.
so
Which is good to know too, what you want your brand to look like and what's important to you. And now that you know that, looking for that in brands before you even start with them and their
yeah.
values and how they
Well, and
care
they
about
gotta
hunting and
you got to
conservation.
be on the same page as that brand. They need to be on the same page as you too.
Hmm.
Your partnership needs to be you know equal.
Yeah.
Some brands, they don't care. They're like, we don't care about pictures of what you shot. We want to see our prop in the background because that's what it turned into. It was a prop, and I'm like, I got no time for this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
like real.
agree. Yeah. No, I think that I love that you're talking about that because I think it is important for brands to realize that and people that are interested in the industry and also working with brands is keeping that stuff in mind. And especially when you're doing something, you raise like really good points. Like when we're hunting and field carrying and stuff, like my priority is not trying to get this product front and center. Like it is the
Yes,
animal, the execution, the taking care of it. Like that comes first and foremost.
that's right. And you can always talk about what you used after or throughout the
Mm-hmm.
year, and and people get it. Like, yeah, a lot of gear, it plays a big part in it, but
Right.
it's not. That's not the end
Totally.
result.
Yeah. No. And I think, in my opinion, the gear will speak for itself if you're seeing it being used the way in which it is supposed to be used by the consumer. And
Yep.
that is just going out and showing up and being used. No, that's good. I
Yeah.
think that's a great lesson. And it probably helped, I would think, maybe ease a little bit of the pressure on the hunt and let you kind of worry about what it is you're doing and why you started what you have.
Yeah, well, it did, and I didn't really take any pictures of anything that I shot this year because of that. Like I was so turned off by what it was becoming that I'm like, this was for me. I don't care anymore. This is for me, and I made it about me. So
Well, it sounds like you've found what is important to you, and like me working with brands that have those same values, and it works well
yeah,
with both brands. It's really
yeah,
awesome when you find those companies too, because there are a lot of really awesome companies that value people as brands and business owners and hunters too.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Cause
Yeah,
yeah, because I agree. Because like I'll be running codes and stuff in the middle of this episode, and it's because those are the
yeah,
companies I align with, you know?
exactly. Yes, and that's yeah. But guys got to get that. A lot of people don't get that part of it. They just
Mm-mm.
want whatever that is handed to them or whatever they can get.
I think too, because you've been around long enough to see like the change in the industry. It'll be interesting to see what the trajectory of that is.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen things change. I've been through a lot of the different ones too. It's not worth it, no matter how big that company or brand is.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then I'm curious, do you feel like because you held your ground on that, do you feel like bigger opportunities and more aligned sponsorships came into place because you were willing to do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it opened up a lot of doors after that.
Well, it just is always so interesting to me when I talk to people that, they have like that the big client or the one that just feels like it's not aligned, but like, I don't dare do this. And then they finally trust in themselves and their values and stuff. And then it seems like something bigger and better or more aligned comes into play. So I was just curious if that,
It is, or you start to see a shift in what they got. You got to make these changes. You can't stick with somebody and be like, you know, well, I don't want to screw it up, or I don't want to, if I do this, then I won't have anything, or that's just nonsense to do that to yourself. You know, I'm not shit talking anybody. I'm just it doesn't work for me. I'm out. It's
yeah,
got to be both
no.
ways, or you're out. You have
Hmm.
to do that. And that goes not just for brands.
Yeah.
That's relationships, whatever. Get out. Don't waste
Hmm.
any time. If it's not working,
Totally.
get out of there.
Yeah.
So
Great advice, both for life and business. I'm curious, what do you have to look forward to now? Because the last time I talked to you obviously catapulted us into this conversation. I was dying to hear how fall went. What do you have to look forward to coming like the new year? And what do you have going on with Compass Grid Labradors? What does Trev have down the pipeline?
I I got lots of I'm ramping up Compass Grid Labradors. I'm going to spend a lot of time next year on birds, a lot
Okay.
more time, and I'm going to try and get in some more interesting hunts. I'm going to get in on antelope, I think. It's more
Okay.
whitetail and a lot more birds. Like LT's going to be she'll be 5 in July, so I want to get her out a lot now for the next few years,
Yeah.
and I'll have one of her daughters with me as well, so off
Okay.
her next litter. So I'm gonna spend a lot more time with that, a lot more training going on, and a lot more working on myself too. So there's some things I want
Yeah.
to change up before I get too old, and
Like what can
just on the fitness side of it, I've got some goals that I
hmm
want to I want to do before I can't, and you know, so a
that's
lot
cool.
more working on myself and my what I got going on. That's for sure. Yeah,
Do you think did that working on yourself come from like epiphanies on the hunt or just as time goes on?
yeah. It actually was. It was when I hurt my knee. I didn't even hurt my knee actually. My knee just started hurting and swelled up, and I couldn't bend it. And I'm like, like this is not good. And it took a while for it to correct itself. And I'm like, well, if that ended up being a permanent thing, you know,
Mhm.
it's it would be really devastating to me. And it could have been pretty easy, and it could still be next year. You don't know what's going to happen with anything, and so I'm going to work harder on myself, and I'm just going to do more, see more things, do more things.
Cool. I'm excited to see what the next year has to bring for you, and I think those are awesome things. Like everyone should that should kind of be like the answer all the time anyways. We should always be trying to evolve and grow. So I think
Yeah,
that's awesome. And those realizations, man, the mountain, like you said, will humble you and you get a lot of time to really reflect and figure out what life looks like.
yeah,
Well, tell
yeah.
everyone where they can find you if they aren't following you already. Anything you have coming up that anyone should reach out to you about? I don't know. Is there still a wait list for puppies, I would assume?
Yeah, the wait list has gotten a lot bigger now. And I'm trying to focus a little bit more on the service dog stuff, but it's getting
Okay.
expensive because you're 25 grand to have one of them dogs go to the veteran or first responder, and I do that out of my like
Mm.
I do that. I don't get funding for that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I got that going on. Is 3-year waiting list for an LT pup, 2 years for everything else. And to find me, it's either Instagram at Compass Grid Labradors or on my website at compassgridlabradors.com.
Awesome. You're always so much fun to talk to, Trev, and I love hearing your adventures. I live vicariously through you hunting this last fall because, man, you like to hear like, and then I'm like, what?
Well,
That's like my
there's
last
more.
10
There's a
years of
lot that,
hunting in one fall.
yeah. Well, it's just stacking bodies. Like I still, there is a lot
I would
to it.
say.
Like it's my ADHD gets in and just goes bam, and I kind of forget mid sentence what I'm talking about, and and I forget a lot that really went on or happened or things I found along the way, and so
No, I
it's
get
hard
it.
to get it all out through this.
It
There was
is.
a lot that went on, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I appreciate you telling your story with us, and everyone can go look at all the different pictures and reels and get a feel for what it is that Trev harvested last year. And then obviously his amazing dogs. Go check all that out. So thank you, Trev. I appreciate you
Yep,
taking the
thank you.
time to chat with me. It was fun.
It was fun. Thank you again.